friends, welcome back to my channel. For my first video of this year, I wanted to talk about some plans that I have to do a low buy year for 2025, my reasons behind it, and some rules that I'm going to try to set for myself and my family. But before I do that, if you want to hear a little life update or where I have been, then stay tuned till the end of the video, because for now I'm going to just dive right in. So, has anybody noticed that everything is really expensive these days? Because that is one of the main reasons why I want to do a low buy year. When me and my husband first got married about 14 years ago now, I was very good at setting like a budget for how much we were going to spend. But over the years, I have definitely loosened that, and I do want to get back to like cutting down little purchases that are just adding up here and there that we are not even realizing. Our family doesn't spend a whole lot of money on things like clothing, but where we seem to spend most of our money is like groceries, eating out, getting takeout, things like that. And we can like go to Costco and spend like a really large amount of money and then somehow eat it all in a week. So stuff like that is definitely the things I'm gonna be keeping an eye on and trying to spend less this year. So something else I have been pondering over the last year is how to teach our kids and our family just how to be a more sustainable family, not ordering things off of Amazon on every whim as soon as something comes to our mind. We are guilty of this as adults, but especially our kids have come to expect that if they need something, we can just order it on Amazon and it'll come the next day, which is crazy. So definitely shopping less from Amazon, and if we need something, putting it on a list and going to the store. And I do love the convenience, obviously, of Amazon, but I don't feel very comfortable with how easy it is to shop there and expect to get our things really quickly. That's not normal. We all know that's not normal. And I noticed this a lot over Christmas, especially with like buying Christmas presents. Obviously it's a hassle to go to the store to look for stuff, but when I did force myself to do that, there's definitely like a little bit of a joy to slowly stroll through the aisles and buy things more from like local shops and stores, and try to support the people that are selling things in my community more. But I think the main reason that I have for wanting to do a low buy year is just to become a more minimal, happy, content family and have more like experiences and family time together versus buying new things all the time to be happy and satisfied. And I really want to teach my kids about things like sustainability, how to take care of our planet, and how our constant purchases are kind of draining the resources of the planet, and just cultivating in them like a spirit of contentment and happiness and finding joy in simple things and not in getting new stuff all the time. Okay, so now that all my reasons have been said, here are some rules, guidelines I have made for myself. I'm not a super like strict person. I'm not gonna be trying to stick to these really strongly, but this is like the vibe, the spirit that I want to have going into this year. So the first rule I have is for myself, and it's clothing related. And that is that I want to try to buy only 12 items for the year, which I actually ended up doing last year. It was kind of a year that I had a lot of other stuff going on and I wasn't focused too much on shopping and style. So that worked out really well, but I want to keep that going. So I'm allowing myself one purchase a month, and hopefully it will be thoughtful and intentional. My next rule for our family is to eat out or get takeout much less. And I haven't sat down and like written what that means exactly, but maybe we can cut that down to like 2 to 4 times a month. The whole point of this is I want to cook a lot more at home and teach my kids to be less picky, because that is one of the struggles that I have as the chef of the family. But along with that, my next rule is to try to go grocery shopping less and try to cook from the larder. I don't know if you guys have heard that phrase, but what I've been trying to do this month is I went on a big grocery shop right before the new year, and I was really trying to see how long can I make it last. So it lasted almost 2 weeks before we really needed to go to the store. And mostly the things that we run out of is like fresh vegetables and fruits. But yeah, we did end up lasting almost 2 weeks, so that was very encouraging, because by the end of that I was really struggling, like what in the world do I cook, because there's nothing left. But I was creative, and I even went through my freezer and wrote down every single thing that I had in the freezer so that I could use it up. And I actually love to cook and create like new meals from things that I have, so that's actually a really fun challenge for me, and hopefully in the process I can expose my children to more flavors and palettes. Okay, my next rule is before I buy anything for the house is to do a really deep house declutter throughout every room of the house. That's something that I actually really want to do this winter anyways, because in the spring and summer I really love to be outside. I've gotten really into like gardening, growing flowers, and also I started like a vegetable and fruit garden last year, so that's what I want to focus on instead of like constantly tidying up the house. So I think I'm gonna do like a house declutter. I think that will really help me to see like, do I need to buy anything else for the space, or maybe it's already fine the way it is. But regardless, just like cleaning up before I buy anything new. Okay, so my next rule is regarding my kids' wardrobe, because even though I didn't buy a lot of things for myself last year, I still had to buy a lot of kid clothes. I have 4 kids and they really wear out their clothing quickly, especially pants. And last year I found that I bought them just a lot of stuff like from Old Navy, Target, just to like keep up with the demand of the clothing. I did go thrifting for their clothing as well, but sometimes that's not as successful, especially for pants. And I wasn't being picky enough about what fabrics their clothes were made of, and I ended up buying like some polyester shirts for my daughter. This year, even though kids wear out their stuff quickly, yes, I just want to focus on like buying cotton items for them, because for myself, I know it just feels so much better on the skin. So why am I making my kids wear a polyester shirt? And my last rule that I want to have is to buy less items and more experiences. Our family really didn't do a whole lot of activities last year, sadly, so this year I think we really want to go on some trips together, spend time outside, maybe go to some museums in the area, and those can be expensive a lot of the time for our family. We have 6 people, so it can really add up, but I think if we spend less on random stuff throughout the year and just save up for those moments, I think that's gonna feel so much better, and there'll be a lot of good memories that are created. Before I go on to my life update, I do want to hear, have you guys been thinking about doing a low buy? Have you felt the weight of how expensive everything is? Do tell me in the comments and let me know what has been going on in your life. So I was just checking on YouTube, when was the last time that I posted a video, and it was last spring, which is so long ago. It's crazy. So I never planned to stop posting, it kind of just gradually happened, and I think one of the main reasons is that I got burnt out from the constant filming and editing and posting, and I just needed a little break. And I think I also got to the point where I felt like, what else can I say about clothes other than, you know, sharing my seasonal wardrobes? The topic just started to feel not as inspiring and exciting as it was in the beginning. But I think one of the biggest reasons is the YouTube algorithm, which you guys don't really see a lot of as the viewer, but as a creator, it really weighs a lot on you when you're like posting a video and then you're checking the stats to see how much views is it getting. There's so much thought that goes into that, like picking the thumbnail for the video that will be like interesting that someone will click on, picking out the title of your video. There's like all these different things that you have to think about, and it kind of wore me down after a while. There'd be videos that I worked really hard on, I was like, wow, this is gonna do really great, and then it would be posted and it would be like a really low view count, and I would feel very like depressed and sad about that. So yeah, just a lot of like highs and lows of mental health of being a creator. So I think after a while that just really took a toll on me, and I just felt like I needed to step back, and it felt good to take a big long break. But of course there was a lot of happy reasons for why I wasn't filming, and that's because I was super busy enjoying the garden. I planted a lot of flowers and perennials, and we started a little veggie and fruit garden last year that was really fun to watch it grow and to eat the food that it was producing. So I was definitely more interested in that, and I did think sometimes I should film this, but I just wanted to enjoy it as it was without bringing the camera into it. And I did have plans to start filming again in September once my kids went back to school, but the transition ended up being a little bit harder in some of them, because one of my daughters started junior high and the other one started kindergarten, so I feel like they both had a lot of emotions as they were entering these new spaces, and they needed like me to be there for them and to like help them work through it. And I feel like finally now everyone is like settled and knows what's going on, and it feels like a much better time to come back to filming. And you guys, it feels really good to be filming a video again. I did really miss it, actually. I got to a point where I was like, I miss doing this. So hopefully I can get on a schedule of some sort, but as I'm coming back to this channel, I do want to kind of shift a little bit of what it's going to be about. I kind of want it to reflect just things that I'm interested in. I don't want to say a lifestyle channel, but I just want it to be about the things that I'm enjoying, and I can just share that with you. So of course it'll still be about clothing and style, because I still really love that, and I have lots of videos in my mind that I have lined up about sharing like what I bought last year, what are some goals for my wardrobe this year, and I'll probably still share my seasonal capsule wardrobes because clothing is just part of us, and I love getting dressed and I love style still. But I also want to share some of my gardening this year, just the process of planting things, of growing a vegetable fruit garden. I'll definitely share some of my house decluttering and maybe finally do a house tour. I would love to do that. And then also cooking, because I have been really loving making healthy meals for my family, getting a little bit into meal prepping and making life easier as a mother. So a little bit of that sprinkled in. And then of course also reading. I read a lot of books last year, and this month already I've read 3 books. So definitely always want to talk about books. So I don't know how this will all be mixing in together, but I'm excited, guys. I'm excited to do this, and hopefully you guys will stick around and watch, and I miss all of you. Okay, bye.